A fabulous morning to my dear students. I am Surekha Panda, your new science teacher from LAHS Gwalior. In my last video, I was telling you that in order to make a subject or chapter interesting, you must understand it. How do you understand a subject? Your teacher explains it to you. Besides listening carefully to your teacher, you must read the chapter thoroughly at home. Reading not only makes your concept clear, but also increases your vocabulary. Also increases your command over the subject. We normally skip the reading part, right? So please make it a habit to read the chapters thoroughly. Now it's time for today's fun fact. Today I am going to share with you a word, the longest word in English dictionary. That is pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. It is a compound word and it consists of 45 letters. It is synonymous to silicosis, a kind of respiratory disease. I will tell it again. Pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Now let's get started with our chapter. Welcome back to the classroom, dear students. Today we are going to start part 2 of chapter 1, Nutrition and Plants. In the last class, I told you about photosynthesis. Today, before dealing with photosynthesis in detail, I would like to inform you about cell. As we know, a building or a house is made up of bricks. Likewise, all the living organisms are made up of cells. Cells can be seen only under microscope. Microscope is a device used to view very tiny things that cannot be seen through naked eyes. So, as the cells are very, very tiny in nature, we need a microscope to view them. Cell is enclosed by a thin boundary called cell membrane. It has a centrally located dense structure called nucleus, which is surrounded by fluid-like cytoplasm. I will show you the diagram of cell. See, this is the diagram of a simple cell. It is enclosed by a thin boundary that is called a cell membrane. It has a centrally located dense part that is known as nucleus, and it is filled with cytoplasm. So what are the three basic structure of a cell? First, cell membrane, second, nucleus, and third, cytoplasm. Some organisms like amoeba, paramecium, and euglena are made up of single cell and hence called unicellulars. Uni stands for one. In these organisms, the entire body is made up of single cell only. That's why they are called as unicellulars. I will show you the diagrams. See, these are all unicellular organisms. Amoeba, euglena, and paramecium. Here you can see that they all contain the three basic structure. Cell membrane, centrally located dense nucleus, and cytoplasm. Apart from that, you can see a whip-like structure here. It helps it in locomotion. You can see hair-like structure. It also helps in locomotion. And in amoeba, these irregular structure, which are known as pseudopodia, they help it in locomotion. Human, plants, and animals are made up of number of cells and are called as multicellulars. We, human beings, plants, and animals are made up of number of cells. That's why we are termed as multicellulars. How can we define cell? Cell can be defined as the structural and functional unit of life. Why structural and functional unit? Because the base is the cell. Cells are there, that's why tissues are there. Tissues are there, that's why organs are there. Organ combines to form organ system, and organ system together forms the whole organism. That's why cell is called as the structural and functional unit of life. Now, leaves, the sites of photosynthesis. Leaves are the factories of plants. Therefore, all the raw materials like carbon dioxide, water, and mineral must reach the leaf. We can study it under two headings: transport of water and minerals and absorption of carbon dioxide. Transport of water and mineral. Water and mineral are absorbed by the root and then they are sent to the leaves. Now a question arises, how water and minerals absorbed by root reach the leaves? Water and minerals are transported to the leaves by vessels which run like pipes throughout the root, the stem, the branches, and the leaves. They form a continuous path for nutrient to reach the leaf. So these vessels, they form continuous pipe inside the plant body so that water can reach from the root to the entire plant. I will show you the diagram. See, this is the diagram of a cell. If the green part will represent stem, root or branch, the yellow part represents water, and the red parts, the red dots, they represent minerals, and the arrow represents the direction of water. The water is traveling in upward direction from the root to the entire plant body. Now coming to absorption of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide from the air is taken in through tiny pores called stomata present on the surface of leaves. Your surface means both upper and lower surface. These pores are surrounded by guard cells. I will show you. You can see this is the upper part of the leaf, upper surface, and this is the lower surface of the leaf. So stomata are present both in the upper surface and in the lower surface. These pores are very, very tiny. Again, we need a microscope to view them. Then I will show you the diagram. This is a stoma. That means stoma is singular and stomata stands for plural. If we take a leaf and make a small circle, this is the enlarged part. You can see a small opening, that is stomatal opening. The opening is guarded by two cells, hence the name guard cells, and these are the other cells present in the leaf. Now one more question arises. What is so special about the leaves that they can synthesize food but other parts of the plant cannot? Leaves have a green pigment called chlorophyll. It helps the leaf to capture sunlight. This energy is used to synthesize food from carbon dioxide and water. Like you can see, my skin is appearing black because of presence of a pigment melanin. Likewise, all the green parts, including the leaf, stem, all the green parts of a plant contain a green pigment called chlorophyll, which imparts them green color. So basically the leaves are green. So the leaf contain chlorophyll, which has the ability to capture sunlight, and they use this sunlight to make their food by using carbon dioxide and water. I will show you a diagram. See, this is the section of a leaf. See, this is the thickness, how thin the leaf is, but we view it under microscope, this becomes enlarged. You can see layers of cell here. Inside the cell you can see dotted structure. These dotted structure are chlorophyll. In the bottom you can see tiny openings. These openings are called stomata, or a single opening is called a stoma. You can see that each of the opening is guarded by two cells. Each opening is guarded by two cells known as guard cells. The entire process takes place in the presence of sunlight. That's why it is called as photosynthesis. Photosynthesis takes place only during the daytime when sun is there. So photo means light, synthesis means to combine. Now let's define photosynthesis. The process by which plants make their own food in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll by using carbon dioxide and water is called photosynthesis. If we write an equation, we can write as carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll gives carbohydrate as food and oxygen. Photosynthesis can be well explained with the help of this diagram. You can see in this diagram, the plant is getting light energy. Then chlorophyll is present in the leaf. Carbon dioxide it is getting from the atmosphere, water and minerals from soil. By using all these, it is making carbohydrate in the form of starch in its leaf, and the leaves are releasing oxygen. The leaves are taking carbon dioxide and water. They are forming carbohydrate. The leaves is taking carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. Here I have mentioned starch. That means carbohydrate has two simpler forms, sugar and starch. Sugar, the simple sugar you have in your home, and starch, it is contained in rice and wheat. So starch and sugar are the two simpler forms of carbohydrate. The solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plants in the form of food. So plant is converting the light energy into chemical energy. Here light energy is called solar energy and chemical energy is called as food. Thus, sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. This may be coming as an important question in the exam. Why sun is the ultimate source of energy for all organisms? It could be well explained with the help of this ray diagram. Sun gives us light energy. What else does sun gives? Sun gives two forms of energy, light energy and heat energy. But in photosynthesis, light energy is used. Sun gives light energy. Light energy is trapped by the leaves, because of which it is able to perform photosynthesis, and the products of photosynthesis are food and oxygen. Both of them are important for living organism. That's why it has been said that we cannot imagine life without photosynthesis. And if you remember, food comes under nutrition, oxygen comes under respiration. That means two important life processes are going on because of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis can be easily memorized with the help of this chart. You can see what is the site of photosynthesis, leaves and other green parts. Like in this plant you can see the leaves are green as well as the stems are green. Here also the leaves are green, the stem is green. That means all the green part are containing chlorophyll. That means they can perform photosynthesis. What is the raw material needed? Raw material are carbon dioxide and water. What are the prerequisites? Sunlight and chlorophyll. In the presence of these two, they can use this raw material to form their products. What are the products formed? Carbohydrate in the form of starch and oxygen. What is the equation? Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll forms carbohydrate and oxygen. Here I have kept it in yellow part because this equation you don't read about this in the first chapter in detail. In the later chapters we will know how to balance an equation. CO2 stands for carbon dioxide, H2O stands for water, and this is C6H12O6 for carbohydrate, and oxygen is released. So this was all for today. Keep practicing at home, stay blessed, and see you soon.